I can't wait for March 3rd. Why? You'll find out.
Pokemon! 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 Pokemon!
Hello everyone, I'm Dustin, Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon XY&Z anime discussion. Today we've got some new summaries, some new blurbs, some new pictures, and a new title. So let's jump right in and discuss what we've got. So there's this page, and I'll show it to you, and it has 5 images for 5 episodes. 2 of those episodes are coming out really soon, so I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to talk about the Team Rocket versus Team Flare, other than, hey, Team Flare, Alon, and stuff. So I'll talk about that on Thursday when I talk about the episode preview and give my thoughts on the preview that we're going to get. So let's talk about the episodes that aren't going to have previews or discussions for a couple of weeks away. So let's jump right into February 18th, which is the 15th episode of the XY&Z series. And it is, of course, a chestnut from the wilderness, the tree planting Robon. I accidentally said Rogon here, but it's actually Robon. So, of course, the blurb is Ash and his friends encounter a robot that's growing plants in a barren field and decide to help it out. And, of course, we have a picture of Clement next to a robot that's green. So Robon is apparently the name of this robot, and it's helping a barren field plant trees and stuff or whatever. And so it's not a typo, it actually is Robon. So unfortunately, no polyrath, like my speculation from the earlier video that I did. Sorry about the lighting. So where was I before the lightning? The lighting of the video distracted me. Of course, so no polyrath after all, so that's a shame. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be a filler episode, and yeah, it probably is going to be a filler, but at least Clement is actually getting episodes. You know, I mean, I don't expect Clement to get something plot related, at least not now, especially given that he really doesn't do anything. He can't really do anything, so unless one of his Pokemon evolves, he captures a new Pokemon, or one of his Pokemon learns a new move. There's just nothing that they can do with Clement at the moment. At least Bonnie has the relationship with Puny-chan, so at least Clement is getting something. But yeah, I'm not really expecting a whole bunch about this. I'm expecting maybe Chestnut to have maybe built this robot. Maybe we'll get like some sort of inventor Chestnut of some kind or whatever. That would be pretty interesting. But you know, maybe Clement will battle against this Chestnut with his Chespin. Maybe that'll happen or whatever. You know, maybe Luxray will be used in some fashion or another. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what this episode has to offer. See, one last thing about it. And if this is development related, then it's possible that this is an anti-evolution for Chespin. I know, I thought that with Bunnelby and Chespin before in certain episodes, but this might be an anti-evolution episode because of Chestnut in here. But maybe not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, let's move on to the next episode, which is the 25th, and it is the 16th episode of XY&Z, and it's the Masterclass Trial. What will you do, Serena? Now, I do apologize. I made a note in my last video about this. There was a picture that was on TV Tokyo, and it showed a girl on there. And I don't think I talked about her at all because I was more upset about the actual episode in of itself, so I forgot. So I apologize. So that's So I'm going to make that up and talk about this since we have a little bit more information. So the blurb says, a showdown with the local master Amelia, which means the girl that you see on that magazine that I'll show you with all those images, that's Amelia. The girl that you saw in my last video, the picture blurb that I didn't really talk about, that's Amelia. And as the magazine picture shows, she also has Dragonair and Espeon. I'm a little mixed about a shiny Dragonair and a Espeon. I'm a little mixed about her having an evolution just like Serena, but doesn't really bother me all that much actually. So, oh well. But and I have no problem with the shiny Dragonair. It is kind of weird, and the one criticism that I do have to say about this episode, um, I mean, I've gotten over most of it. I really don't care one way or the other now. That's what happens after a while. I get kind of upset or not liking something, but then eventually I calm down and I move on. So this episode is a little bit better than I initially thought or whatever. So, um, but the problem that I do have this is the introduction of this particular character at this particular time frame. I really would like Serena to win the master class and potentially become the Kalos Queen, because I can't imagine it making any sense for her to be shoved a goal, a last minute goal or something, having like all of a sudden Serena likes Pokemon contests and she's going to go and she's going to become a coordinator because she didn't do too well against Master Class and she didn't become Kalos Queen. It doesn't make any sense, and and I don't think there's going to be any other Pokemon showcases out there, try Pokemons for other purposes because the master class is already passed, and I can't imagine while Ash may be doing something during the filler break after the league, assuming that next generation isn't going to come out this year. If it does, it'll be surprising, but if we still have that year of break, if the next generation isn't going to come out until 2017, there's going to be like this whole lot of break between the league and the next generation series. So if there's going to be more episodes and more stuff going on, then you would think that like Ash and Serena would have a goal or something of that nature. So I feel like giving Serena Kalos Queen might allow her to have development episodes in relation to that, and then maybe if the next games that come out is Z, we're gonna get Pokemon Z or something like that, and they introduce some sort of trinket related secondary quests like a battle frontier. Maybe Ash can do that for the fun of it, and maybe we'll get a proper mega evolution for Ash or something like that. But what I don't like about Amelia being introduced is because she already acts like Soledad basically, and that necessarily, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with it is it being for Serena's goal and for Serena's purposes. It makes sense for gyms, tournaments and stuff, and it makes sense for contests because there's potential people that you do not meet on a daily basis, so it makes sense that at a big tournament you'd probably lose and you have to wait until next year. But the thing with Masterclass and Serena Showcase, it, it's easier in my mind to see that the writers and producers would have an easier time writing episodes or making episodes for Serena when she is the Kalos Queen, rather than her having to wait until next year. I mean, she could probably do a whole bunch of unofficial Pokemon showcases, but that's really not going to mean anything because she probably has to wait until next year before she has a chance at doing performances. And of course, if this is leading to Serena becoming a coordinator and doing Pokemon contests, it's going to be completely, this whole entire quest is going to be pointless. So the only way that I think that they can be fair to Serena and fair to Serena's fans, in my mind, is if they let Serena become Kalos Queen and let her fulfill her duties as Kalos Queen as the episodes, as we wait until the end of this generation's anime series. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. And touching a little bit of what I said about Ash and other thing like that. Someone, I think it was like John from Tyrone the God 3's video of this, he said that he didn't like it how rivals are coming up in the league and beating Ash, and he would prefer someone like Sawyer. And I can understand that sentiment, but here's my sentiment. Ash should only lose to the person who is going to beat the league, which is why I heavily hated the league with Cameron, because Cameron didn't win the Unova League. It was Virgil. Ash should have lost to Virgil. That's what would have made sense. No, instead, what they had is they overpowered a very stupid character, and no, it's not comparable to Ash. Ash is basically naive and doesn't really care, but Cameron was just completely brain dead in a lot of instances, so no, they're not comparable. At least Ash knows a lot about Pokemon battling, that if he's confused, it's probably something he hasn't seen in a long time, and he has to deal with a whole bunch of other strategies and tactics being thrown at him, or it's something he's never seen before. But Ash knows what a full battle is. He knows to register at the league the moment it happens. He understands that gym badges have to be obtained within the home region that you get them. Can't go to Johto and get your badge from Morty and expect to use it against in the Unova League. Ash knows that that's not the case. So Ash is a little bit more intelligent than Cameron is, and so they overpowered Cameron, and Ash lost to him, and Cameron didn't even use a full team, and they just rushed the hell out of the league. And it's like, no, that is not how you make Ash lose. I was perfectly fine with Ash losing to Tyson. I was perfectly fine with Ash losing to Tobias, because at least they beat their respective leagues, And Tyson didn't necessarily have to beat the league, because Tyson was already a strong enough character. He could have gotten runner-up, but I guess it was a step up from Harrison. Harrison lost the battle right after he beat Ash, so I think it was a step up for Ash to lose to the eventual league champion. So that's what I would prefer. What I don't want is Ash losing to people who don't have a chance at beating the league. So in with all due respect, John, or JPR, whatever you want me to consider you, I don't want Sawyer to beat Ash when I know for a fact that Sawyer isn't going to beat the league. There is just no way that Sawyer has the strength enough to beat the league. Most likely, they're going to introduce a Tobias character or a Virgil character some point near the league, and that character is going to beat the league. So you may be fine with Ash losing to Sawyer, and that's fine, but in my opinion, I would rather Ash lose to the league champion. If Ash has to lose, make him lose to the league champion. So that's not really relating to Serena, but like I said, my doubts of Amelia in regards to Serena is I don't want her to be the one that ends up becoming the Kalos Queen or beating Serena. I feel like Serena has plenty of other rivals in this particular Master Class, even some of the reused technical rivals that don't interact with Serena probably should have a fairer chance rather than introducing a random complete trainer or performer here and have her be crowned Kalos Queen. It makes sense in the realistic terms, but it doesn't make any sense for Serena. The way that Serena has been written, the way that her goal is, and if we're getting like a year and a half of basically more X, Y, and Z episodes after Masterclass, Serena is going to be completely useless if she doesn't win the Kalos Queen title. If she doesn't win Masterclass and become Kalos Queen, Serena is going to be useless. And they can try and put on official Pokemon showcases, but they're just going to be hollow. They can try and make her a coordinator, but that's going to make no sense for Serena. And it's going to be insulting that she even had to deal with showcases to begin with if you were just going to turn her into a coordinator. You probably should have done that to begin with, especially when you had to know that Omega and Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were going to be the next generation of games. Because I'm pretty sure you would have known that. I'm pretty sure Game Freak would have told you, oh, hey, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Why? Because the first movie had Mega Diancie, and that was not included until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And it was a long time before Serena actually got her quest. So if Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had contests in it, including Lycia, the Mega Altaria coordinator within the games, you could have turned Serena into a coordinator a long time ago. You had plenty of time to do that. But now, after Serena has failed becoming the Kalos Queen, just to make her relevant so she's not completely useless on the team, as Ash probably does a Battle Frontier kind of thing, you're going to make Serena just not do anything. You know, I can understand maybe there could be other title queens that Serena might be able to become. Maybe if they go to Sinnoh, maybe because maybe they want Ash to do the Sinnoh Battle Frontier, hypothetically speaking. I suppose Serena could try her luck at becoming Sinnoh Queen. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's not exactly from Sinnoh, and that's one of the problems. If this is too much like a beauty queen contest or a pageant, then it wouldn't make sense that Serena would be able to enter another region's competition. But you know, for the sake of the story, I can ignore that. But until I have confirmation that other regions do indeed have other competitions like Pokemon showcases in the Kalos region, and it's not something like a connoisseur in 5th generation in the Unova region, where connoisseurs or sommeliers, Pokemon connoisseurs and Pokemon sommeliers, were only in Unova. So unless there's other regions that have Pokemon showcases, Serena's going to be pretty much useless if she doesn't win, or they're going to completely change Serena's character in a way that I wouldn't look forward to. I mean, I would be fine with Serena doing some contests because of the similarities between contests and Pokemon showcases. But what I wouldn't want is her to make a goal around it, because it would have been something that should have already happened. Now, I suppose maybe the argument is they go to a region where there are contests and Serena just has her hand in it, you know, not necessarily something she wants to do, but maybe just to do something while she waits for the next chance to be Kalos Queen. I guess it's acceptable a little bit, but you know, if they're going to stay in the Kalos region and contests exist in the Kalos region, then it's going to be a little disappointing to see Serena just suddenly become a coordinator. If it's just for just for the time being, I might be able to understand, but only if it's in a different region that they go to. If it's in the Kalos region, then I'm going to think, why didn't you do that to begin with? But whatever, that's that particular episode. So a little bit more about this particular episode. I'm kind of expecting maybe this could be a Pokemon showcase where Serena loses. Maybe Jessie in another town will get another key. And then the next Pokemon showcase is probably going to be the one where Serena gets her final Princess key. Also, I kind of expect this episode to have Yashio in it and potentially tell Serena that she doesn't have what it takes to be Arya. Maybe. Or maybe we'll wait to the final Pokemon showcase. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen there. So that's that. So then we get into the episode that I'm most excited about. And of course, that's March 3rd, XY&Z episode 17th. When I made these notes, I initially wrote down Zapdos and Moltres because I was thinking of them, but the actual title is Zapdos, Zapdos and Noivern, a furious strike of lightning. And here's the summary and blurbs that came with that image of Zapdos using an attack. Ash and his friends have decided to visit a town where a festival based around the legendary Pokemon Zapdos is being held. But then they encounter an angry Zapdos. Zapdos attacks. It's a complete mystery why it's so angry. Is there a reason for it? So that's the summary and blurbs, and I'm excited about this episode because as far as I can see, and based on what we can guess, Noibat is going to evolve in this episode, and I can't wait. I just want to see the preview. Now, a lot of people are being critical about this particular episode because this is like being a carbon copy of Fletchender's evolution into Talonflame. But the only problem is, and maybe it's because I missed it, but no one complained for the most part that Fletchling and Fletchender evolved in the exact same manner for the most part. No one complained when Froakie and Frogadier evolved in the same exact method, as far as I'm aware, and the only unique evolutions that Ash has had this generation is Goomy and Sliggoo. Goomy evolved because Ash took an Iron Tail from Grumpig, and Goomy wanted to protect Ash or wanted to get stronger, didn't want to be weak, and so it evolved. Sliggoo evolved because there was a fire started, and Sliggoo was scared of the fire but got over its fear because of the trauma that it took when it was in the wetlands and stuff, so it used Rain Dance, and it evolved as a result of that, and the fire was kaput. But Fletchling and Fletchender both evolved using a fire-flying Pokemon. Froakie and Frogadier both evolved by blocking a ninja's Pokemon's attack. So I'm not really seeing the complaints about Noibat evolving against Zapdos, because even if it is almost identical to Fletchender evolving to Talonflame, it's no different than the other same method of evolutions that Ash's other Pokemon have had, like Fletchling and Fletchender both blocking a fire attack from a fire-flying Pokemon and evolving as a result of that. Or Froakie and Frogadier blocking attack from the same theme of a ninja who had a Pokemon who used an attack and blocking that and evolving as a result of that. The difference here, at the very least, is that there's a town, which means there's probably going to be character of the days, random NPCs pretty much. Well, I don't know if an NPC would apply in an anime, but just random filler drawn generic characters. There may be even some unique things. Maybe like Shauna appears in here, maybe Tierno, maybe Sawyer will appear, or maybe even, am I missing someone? Maybe even Alon might show up in this particular episode. Maybe this is relating to Team Flare. So I can't exactly be too mad about this. You know, I get the jokes, they're funny. An electric volcano. Oh no, Team Rocket is gonna kick Clamont's device in an electrified volcano, and Zapdos is gonna get angry. Zapdos is gonna attack Noibat, it's gonna be crawling, you know. And then Zapdos is gonna use the Thunderbolt against Ash and stuff, and then Noibat's gonna fly, and during while it's trying to fly so it can get ahead of its attack, it begins to evolve. You know, I get the jokes. Ha 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 ha. They're pretty amusing and funny, but it's still not exactly fair because we really don't know anything more about this episode. You know, it could be very similar to Fletchender evolving, but, you know, from my perspective, it's still different enough that it's acceptable. I mean, I would rather have this than Noibat evolving because of Team Rocket. I would definitely prefer this. And I also think that there may be some future storyline in regards to this. Maybe this is basically the writers and producers basically trudging the water a little bit of whether or not they should make Ash powerful enough to take down a legendary Pokemon with just one Pokemon, not a group effort, although I'm guessing Regice could be excluded from that since it was just Pikachu battling against Regice, but I feel like maybe this is so that Ash can be more powerful, you know, who knows? Maybe this could be a sign that Ash could capture a legendary Pokemon in the future. What they want to do is to trudge the waters a little bit to see if Ash's Pokemon should be strong enough to take on a legendary Pokemon, and maybe in the next generation, Ash will actually capture a legendary Pokemon, and it'll be the first legendary Pokemon he catches. I'm expecting a mythical Pokemon to be caught by Ash, though, after the movie, of course, where it shows up. So like Keldeo shows up in the movie, and then a couple of months later, Keldeo is caught within the anime, kind of something like that. Or it could just be a legendary if we get a nice standalone legendary that's unrelated and it's not too strong. Maybe Ash could catch something like that. But I think this has a purpose because they did this with Moltres, they did this with Zapdos. I'm sure Articuno is going to show up, and based on what we see, based on this particular pattern right now, it seems likely that Articuno will be an Ash related episode, so maybe something will happen there. I'm not expecting Ash to capture Articuno if that's what you're thinking. No, but I think it might lead to something later on where Ash may end up capturing a legendary Pokemon. Who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Articuno will be a Pokemon that Wolfric uses. You know, that would be interesting. But I feel like there is a reason for this because I don't think it would make any sense for them to shove the legendary bird trio and have Ash's Pokemon evolving outside of they just really want strong evolutions, and these episodes tend to be strong evolutions. A lot of people liked Fletchender's evolution into Talonflame because it was a strong evolution. Fletchender evolved taking a flamethrower from a legendary Pokemon and evolving as a result of it. The only problem that I have with it is Moltres was too overpowered for a legendary Pokemon. It's like they can't find the right balance. Nolan's Articuno in the Battle Frontier is the prime example, as well as Brandon's Regis as Pokemon that are legendary, but you can still beat them if you're strong enough. Moltres in the Moltres episode seemed to be so overpowered that a Pokemon like Talonflame was completely and utterly destroyed by one of Talonflame's, or was destroyed. Talonflame was destroyed by a fire type move, which is something that shouldn't happen. A Pokemon that is of a type should not be taking critical damage against type it's resistant to. So if there was a Pokemon that was um, like uh, that doubly resisted fire, like maybe rock and water. A rock and water basic Pokemon shouldn't be dealt a lot of damage from a legendary Pokemon fire if it's resistant. It can still do a lot of damage, but Talonflame was pretty much knocked out with one attack. Fletchender took an attack, sped up, evolved, and managed to block another attack before it evolved, and then it took another attack. Maybe it was because Talonflame didn't have a lot of energy, and maybe it's acceptable, but I felt like Moltres was too overpowered for a Pokemon that doesn't even have a 600 base stat total. If I'm not mistaken, the legendary trios only have a max about 580 base stat total within the game. So, and usually 600 base stat total Pokemon that are from evolutions like Metagross, Dragonite, and stuff, they aren't as overpowered. So it doesn't really make sense for Moltres, just because it is a legendary Pokemon, to be so overpowered. So I'm hoping that Noibat slash Noivern will be able to put up a much better fight than Talonflame. I know that's not exactly fair, but I feel like it would be better if that was the case with Noivern, you know. And it may not even be a battle. It just says Zapdos and Noivern. So maybe they work together. Maybe sure, Noibat blocks an attack, but maybe Noivern manages to convince Zapdos to calm down and attack the real threat, which we probably can already guess is Team Rocket, because why not? It's not like anything else would be making a Pokemon like this angry. So yeah, but still, even with all the criticisms, and I can kind of understand some of them in regards to this particular episode, I still feel like this is preferred, even if it's a carbon copy, rather than Noibat evolving because of Team Rocket or Noibat evolving in a gym battle. Because they, according to the fan base, overused that in the Unova region, even though only, two Pokemon evolved during the gym battle. Let's see, there was Swaddle evolving into Swadloon. Oh, so it's three Pokemon. Only three Pokemon evolved in the gym, in three different gyms, in the Unova region, and by, let's see, Unfezant, it was getting ridiculous or overused too much. So I would definitely prefer something like this because Zapdos is a powerful opponent. It makes sense for a Pokemon to evolve against a powerful opponent. It's kind of strange that a lot of the evolutions in the past have been because of Team Rocket. Sure, they offer battling experience, and maybe just a little bit of battling experience is all they needed, but it's kind of lame for the most part for a Pokemon to evolve against Team Rocket and blast off Team Rocket. Sometimes it's cool. We got Cyndaquil evolving into Quilava, so it can use Eruption on the Team Rocket mech. But otherwise, it's kind of boring and it's kind of lame. I feel like Ash's Pokemon deserve a little bit better opponents. So yeah, Noibat evolving against Sawyer or Tierno or even Trevor, would probably be a lot better than maybe even Zapdos. But at least it's kind of cool in itself. It could be a carbon copy, but just the concept of itself is pretty cool. The concept of one of Ash's Pokemon evolving to battle or calm down a legendary Pokemon is pretty cool by itself. It's definitely something that I will enjoy. Granted, I don't think anything's going to happen with Articuno in the same sense of a Pokemon evolving, but maybe Greninja can master its Ash Greninja form or whatever it is, or maybe Ash will capture a Pokemon within that episode that's attacked by Articuno, but I don't expect any sort of actual evolutions with Articuno. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Articuno is more about Serena or Clement even. because maybe the writers producers thought, well, okay, we gave Ash 2 legendary birds, let's not make it 3, let's not give him all the legendary Pokemon focus. Maybe it'll be about Serena or Trevor. A lot of people are like, Trevor shouldn't be in this particular episode. And I think it was KG Prestige that said that he didn't want Trevor to be in this to take a photo. Trevor doesn't necessarily have to be in the episode to take a photo. He could just be in the episode because he wants to see it again. Maybe it's a different Zapdos, because there are multiple Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, So that's pretty much it that I think that I have to say about these particular episodes. So thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.